I'm going to go through a few common revision techniques for you that might help you with your revision. These are by no way exhaustive. There's many more of them. The first one I'd advise is to rag your notes, red, amber, green. So get your notes, whether it's class notes or in your revision guide, and get yourself some highlighters or some pencil crayons and highlight them red, amber, and green. Now, those colours refer to your confidence with your notes. If they're green, you know that stuff, so really you don't need to look at it again. That's in your brain forever. If it's amber, it's fairly familiar, but it might be a little bit weak in that area, so you do need a little bit of revision of that, but not ours. If you've highlighted them red, that really does need to be revised. You don't know it, so that's your priority. Now, once you've done that, you can use that as the basis for the rest of your revision. So once you've done your ragging, one technique you could use are good old traditional flashcards and flash notes. So here, you want to put your red and your amber areas onto flashcards. Don't just copy them out, reword it, condense it, maybe put bullet points. Don't copy it. That's not good. It's a low order skill. You might want to then, on the flip side of your flashcards, put questions or facts that you need to answer or address when you do your flashcard activity. Then lay them all out on a table with all the questions uppermost and let your brain work out whether you have learnt and remembered what's on the flip side as you turn them over. If you have, awesome. Those flashcards you know, put them to one side. The ones you still don't know, work through them over and over until you know them, and then revisit them all after a few days just to confirm that knowledge is in your brain. If it's not, do the process again. Okay, another technique you can use is a thing which my school signed up to, which is called GCSE Pod. Here, you've got very many, you've got all the subjects and you've got sub-subjects, sub-areas, topics and details. So watch the relevant pod and pause it and complete the activities on it. They're quite good. And then maybe whilst you're doing it, create concept maps of information you wish to revise, maybe create questions to test yourself on and revisit those questions soon. My little lateral flow test is covering up my own little password there. Another thing you can do is get onto YouTube. YouTube's got a bank of information on there. If you type in specific topics, let's say for geography, you're looking at plate tectonics, plate boundaries, you're looking at conservative plate boundaries, you type conservative plate boundaries into YouTube. Now, I suggest you set yourself up your own little YouTube channel and save it in libraries. So you might be saving it in chemistry, physics, biology, French, geography, etc. Okay, so save your clips so you can revisit them. And whilst you're watching it, create some notes, whether they're bullet points, whether they're concept maps, whether they're lists. There are a variety of different ways. Don't be passive. That's the key thing. Don't be passive. Okay, the next thing that you can do is look at past paper exam questions. Or if you've got a revision guide, do the activities in those revision guides. So with past paper questions, revise the topic first, looking at your concept maps, your flashcards or YouTube, whatever it is, and then choose one of two different techniques. You can either do it under exam conditions where you're quite strict with timings, you're quite strict with access to technology and revision guides, or you can choose to do it as an open book condition. Suggest you do that if you're a little bit weak on the area and you need the extra support. Maybe you haven't revised enough, because at this point then the process of completing the past paper is more of a revision technique as opposed to an assessment, and both of them are very valuable. Now, once you've completed it, you can then print off your mark scheme, maybe try marking it yourself, getting into the brain of the examiner, which is a really useful process, or get someone you trust or get your teacher to mark it and significantly get some feedback. Know where you've gone wrong, know what things you should have done differently by perhaps looking at the mark scheme or getting verbal or written feedback from your teacher to say, how can I improve for next time? That's key. Don't just get a number, don't just get a letter as a grade. You get some feedback so you learn from your mistakes. And it's always, a bad exam paper is actually a valuable piece of revision because you can go over it, highlight it, annotate it, and bring it up to 100% as a method of revision. With regards to the activities in your revision guides, now if you own the revision guide, there's no reason why you can't red, amber, green, rag on that revision grade, on the revision guide. Certainly the relevant sections for you before you complete the activities. Okay. Another thing you can do, this may work well for you, is create one-page summary sheets. So you're going to need A4 paper or A3 for this. And basically everything goes on one side and you can pin it on your wall. Okay, so you've got to condense here, and that's quite important. You've got to condense the information, restructure the information. So choose a topic, choose an area. It could be a whole unit if you've got very tiny handwriting, onto one side of A4 or A3. Include diagrams on this, stick it on the wall where you're going to pass it regularly. And the last thing that I'll go over, and there are many more, these are just ones which I favour really, concept maps. And it's a concept map pretty much like this page. This page is a concept map. And what you do is you get your key area. Let's say, for example, you're looking at weather and climate, and you're looking at topic there. You look at, it might be types of rainfall. And the detail, you could have convectional rainfall, you could have relief orographic rainfall, and frontal rainfall, the detail about those three there. I suggest you have maybe different colour and different shapes, a little bit like this one. So this concept map here is all about how to revise. And you can see it's not a spider diagram, is it? Because you've got the key area in a little bubble next to the main topic. So my main topic's in the middle, revision technique, and then I've got the key areas around it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 key areas. And you can see as you move out from there, there's explanation. The concept is explained and it becomes more detailed. Now this could be a concept map for a topic, an element of a topic, or a whole unit, but it is a useful technique. And again, it's just one tool in the armory. There are many, and not every technique might work for you. Some may be horrendous and some may be fantastic. But the key thing is, don't be passive. Don't be passive and engage yourself. Structure your time wisely and make sure you do it in chunks. 20, 25-minute intense chunks with a brief break of 5 or 10 minutes is ideal. Good luck.